Welcome to another episode of the FANMEN podcast. I'm DJ Gove.
Chris Davis.
Sean Hogarty. That was weird.
Yeah, it's different. So we're recording this one a little differently than normal. We got Chris is remote, so we're not in the Fortress of Davis.
Yeah, so this is our first time having a phone guest.
Yes, phone which is Chris. So because Chris is smart.
So apologies for any background noise or
that's fine. I mean, he's smart enough to get the fuck out of New England in the 10-degree weather and go to Florida where it's sunny and they put Mickey ears on stuff.
Exactly.
There you go.
So normally we just wait for Chris to come back, but this week has been a barn burner for movie news and
Trailer
movie trailers.
Teasapalooza.
Trailer Central. Like, I'm surprised YouTube didn't break this week. It's been insane.
It actually did for a little while this morning.
Oh, did it?
John Wick caused it to crap out.
Yeah.
They were actually sending text messages out saying that the switchboard was full. They were having technical difficulties and to come back in a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, Spider-Man has the most, but Wick is up there.
Yeah, which is
just got hammered.
It's really bothering me because I have not watched the trailer because, as previously mentioned, I have yet to watch John Wick 2. So I'm going to have to... I'm probably not going into work tomorrow, so I may actually, while the kids are at school, watch John Wick 2 just so I can watch the trailer and catch up with the millions of people that
smart move.
are going nuts.
Good, because once you do that, every time we record, we can just put it on the TV in the background. I could watch it maybe 1,000 times.
Both of those movies were downloaded to the iPad for the trip.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he just downloaded 2 onto his iPad. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if we're getting trailers, actually, I have a correction from a previous episode.
What did you screw up?
Last time we did our TV breakdown, I thought that Outlaw King show on Netflix was a TV series.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Turns out I just fell asleep 50 minutes into it and thought there was just, I was like, oh, there's more to watch. It's the rest of the movie.
I kept forgetting to mention that to you. I went to look for the TV series and it took me a while.
Phenomenal movie. That was great. But anyway, it was not a TV. I just assume everything on Netflix is a TV series.
Well, it's reasonable.
Yeah. So, by the way, also Netflix just went up in price. It's going up to $16 now if you want to stream high def.
So I mean,
$2 more.
Yeah.
You're going to lose 20% of the content next year.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's more money and there's no Marvel shows coming. Like, what the after Stranger Things comes out, I can't shut it off yet because my daughter wants Sabrina season 2, which I think is April.
Yeah.
But once Stranger Things comes in July, I might only turn it back on when there's something for me to watch.
So I'm actually writing on my stepdad's Netflix account.
You bum.
No, I'm, you can share and create a certain number of profiles. So
yeah, you trade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's, I have my own profile on his Netflix account. So I'll have to ask him what he's planning on doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I got my brothers on mine and stuff like that too, but I don't know. I mean, they better come up with something good. Get something else. Especially with Disney coming. It was not a smart move to raise their price with Disney on the horizon.
Yeah. Well, I didn't watch the John Wick trailer, but you guys seem really excited about it. Without spoiling, I know obviously some major stuff goes on in John Wick 2.
Yes. Tell
me a little bit about what's awesome about that trailer without spoiling anything from John Wick 2 for me.
Okay. So like the other John Wick movies, it's obviously John Wick against another group of people.
Right.
And that group of people is probably not going to fare very well.
Yeah.
So there's you get John Wick on horseback. Like, I don't know, Chris, is that Manhattan, you think?
It's going right through Midtown.
And he's like on a horse and he's like snapping necks and shooting guys in the neck, and it's insane, and absolute insanity. So I was excited for that because they showed a still of that way back when they first started production. I think that was like the first night they were in production, they filmed that scene. There's that. Holly Berry's in this movie.
Wow.
Which is cool.
Ian McShane.
Ian McShane's in it.
Ian McShane.
Back, which is awesome. It looks like the main bad guy, the main antagonist is the chairman guy from Iron Chef America. I'm not even fucking kidding.
Okay.
Like the Asian guy from Asian Chef, that'd be like sashimi tuna, whatever whatever the bananas, or whatever the ingredient was for the day. And he's a martial artist. He actually played, I think it was Billy Lee in the shitty Double Dragon movie with Alyssa Milano back in the 90s. Movie garbage.
But hey, he's in a John Wick, so it's not
Exactly.
gonna suck.
And then there's a scene where he kills the guy with a library book,
A library book.
library
That was
book.
ridiculous.
puts it in his mouth, and just curb
Oh.
stomps him with a library book. It was
Ow.
it was glorious. There was the pants might have moved a little bit on that one. So I don't know, Chris, what piqued your interest in the John Wick trailer?
What was striking to me in the whole thing is that may be the best made trailer I've seen in the last 5 years. I mean, they hit everything right to the still shots that they had, the musical beats that were going. I mean, they showed you enough of what Wick's doing without giving away the entire movie. It did nothing but pique my interest and want May 17th to get here as soon as possible.
Yeah, it was cut gorgeously, and it's like he said, they don't give anything away. I mean, you get Keanu Reeves, get a couple guys dying, but he's probably gonna. I mean, the body. My guess would be the body count in this movie is gonna make Commando look like PBS. Like he is going to fucking. It should be called John Wick Kills the World.
That's 4.
That's number 4. John Wick in space.
Yeah.
This one actually has a title too. I know it's not just John Wick 3. Was it Parabellum?
Parabellum, yes.
Parabellum.
Does anyone know what that word means? My vocab's not the best.
Well, bellum is related to the Latin for war, I think, and para is by or, and I associate it with parabellum rounds, something about the jacketing or load on. So don't know what I'm talking about, but it's something. It's martial. It's weapony.
John
right?
Wick.
I'll go with
something kind of war. That works. It's good enough for me. So yeah, May 17th.
We could just Google it, right?
Yeah, fuck that. So yeah, May 17th can't get here fast enough. Actually, May 16th at like 7 p.m. can't get here fast enough.
Yeah, no kidding.
Must be. I'll take the day
That'll
off
be a
from work. I
preview
don't
show.
Yeah, it does remind me of a buddy of mine, James, sometimes calls it shoogling, where rather than Google something, he instead asks me.
Ask Sean.
Knowing that it's usually only like an 80% best, best answer,
like
but he
Jeeves,
prefers
Sean make something
Ask
up.
Jeeves back in the day.
Yes. Yeah.
For all you kids out there that are listening, there used to be this thing before Google. You could ask other things besides Google. You could ask Jeeves, or you could ask Metacrawler or Webcrawler.
What was the Lexus? Not Lexus. They had a dog.
Oh yeah,
And there's Alta Vista, but it was I don't remember.
So long ago. But you used to ask it stuff, and then it would take you 5 minutes to see a picture. It was great.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So John Wick trailer.
So John Wick's going to be an absolute barn burner. Not to be outdone because we've said Chris and I are both huge John Wick people, super excited. But something very unexpected happened this week. Like I knew Spider-Man eventually was going to have a trailer. I knew John Wick was eventually going to have a trailer. I did not, in my wildest dreams, think that Jason Reitman was going to go online this week and say, hey, I talked to my dad and Dan Aykroyd, and I'm going to make another Ghostbusters movie, Ghostbusters 3. Yeah. And I sure as fuck didn't expect him to have a teaser ready to go the day after. So we got announced this week that there's a new Ghostbusters coming.
Yeah.
Kristen Wiig never happened.
Yep.
All that, the remake. This is not a reboot or a remake. This is
continuity of Ghostbusters 2.
Ghostbusters 1 and 2 are canon. Yep. New batch of Ghostbusters. There's everyone's got what they want out there online. A lot of people want some of the kids from Extreme Ghostbusters to come, which was a cartoon in the 90s. Some want just the girl from Extreme Ghostbusters. She's actually become a canon character in the comics. I think you're going to get a one girl Ghostbuster.
I want Ghost Murray.
Ghost Murray, yes, that's my thing. I want Ghost Venkman real bad.
Yep.
If you don't have Murray involved, I think you're going to end up failing.
I think because
he was the backbone of that original movie.
He was. Venkman's the best. Everyone loves Venkman.
If Ivan Reitman has given the go-ahead to his son Jason to do this, it's because the core story idea is solid enough to do it. And if that's the case, Murray's in, right?
I heard there was tears.
Yeah.
But allow me to retort.
Yes.
Francis Ford Coppola also made The Godfather 3.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Davis, appreciate
it. Here's my take on it.
Shitter of parades.
DJ earlier today. The original Ghostbusters is hallowed ground in my eyes. I mean, that's one of those things that it's almost a perfect comedy with the supernatural elements, but I don't know how you top that. everything else is kind of just chasing the tail of that original. So that's nothing I don't want more in that world.
Yeah.
I'm just apprehensive.
I think you do it by, I don't remember what happened in Ghostbusters 2.
Baby Oscar, the slime, Vigo.
But it doesn't, it certainly didn't take away from Ghostbusters 1. But again, I come back to, I trust and hope that the core story is there enough to move, right? I don't think Ivan Reitman would allow it at this point without some core worth in the concept and story. And it doesn't have to top it, right? I mean, all it has to do is be better than the one that I haven't seen because I heard such crap about it.
The best you're hoping for is The Force Awakens.
No, I think it can be better than Force Awakens.
No, I mean, just the spirit has to be there.
People want to go back into that universe to go visit with the characters that they knew and grew up with.
Yeah. And I mean, God, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, if you give people those characters again and then build the story around that, then I think you're going to make a ton of money. I do. If you try to go too far off script, like if it's a throwaway Dan Aykroyd appearance or something like that, you're walking a bit of a tightrope there.
I think you're definitely going to get Dan Aykroyd and you're going to get Ernie Hudson. It's going to happen. I mean, Dan Aykroyd, they were tweeting about it already.
Yeah, you're getting Ernie.
Yeah.
Ernie was doing Comic Book Men a couple of years ago.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think you're going to get the Ghost Venkman because that's what he wanted to do. And if it's...
So are we going to get Ghost Venkman and he's already Ghost? Or are we going to get Death of Venkman and then Ghost Venkman?
I think it's going to be already Ghost. I think he's going to been a Ghost for a long time. That's my take on it.
We're going to get Sigourney Weaver?
That'd be nice. I think
Moranis?
I don't know, but Rick Moranis is kind of...
Rick's a tough get.
Yeah.
I think
Rick's
you can get Andy Potts.
I think they're, because what a lot of people wanted with the last reboot is they wanted Baby Oscar grows up to be a Ghostbuster. I think you might get that in this one, which means you have Sigourney Weaver, hopefully. But as long as they don't muck with it, I mean, the trailer had all the original beach, the score scenes. It was real quick, but they had the car, they had the old sound effects, the protons.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to be one of those things where it's like, is it going to be... The teaser could have nothing to do with the movie at all. It could just be like, well, that's what they shot. But could it be like, maybe Venkman dies and this house gets auctioned off and this kid finds in the garage there's all the old gear and shit and they start up their own like Ghostbuster thing. I don't know. Who knows?
And Venkman's haunting.
Yeah. He's still, he goes to the garage or something.
Yeah, that could be.
I mean, hell, make them all ghosts. I don't care. Make the three, like maybe, I don't know. But
well, we'll see.
I want the OG proton packs. I want the car back.
The fact is, we don't know anything other than it's happening. The teaser.
You're getting the car.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing is it seems like, at least from what you read, is you got everybody's blessing.
Yeah.
You got Aykroyd's, you got Murray's, you got Reitman. So, and then, so, I mean, obviously Harold Ramis isn't with us anymore, but I think this is going to be what Ghostbuster fans wanted.
Yep.
So that's good. So as I said, that was very unexpected. The big nugget this week was obviously Spider-Man Far From Home. The trailer came out.
Yeah.
Once again, another gorgeous trailer.
I just watched it. I had not had a chance until a few minutes ago. And I mean, it's kind of cheating, right? Marvel has done such a great job of establishing these independent but interlinked universes.
Yep.
And also managed to make me forget while watching this trailer the events of Infinity War, and then I had to catch myself and go, okay, hold on. When is this?
Yeah, that's a tough one because
I mean, fit in the timeline.
Yeah, because I know there's a scene where he has his passport. There's no year on the passport.
Yeah.
My guess is, I mean, I'm probably wrong, but my first thought was that they go to Europe on vacation. The bus they take from the airport back to the city is the one he's on in the beginning of Infinity War.
That could be.
Because I can't see them setting the movie after the fact and then releasing the trailer this early. I mean, obviously everyone knew that the characters were going to get undusted, but when you want to keep the surprise a little bit,
yeah.
I mean, why would you do that? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, Captain Marvel's all before it.
Yeah.
So this should be before it too, in my opinion. That's just me.
Yeah, so it'll be.
It would make sense.
They're going to handle it somehow. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see.
So yeah, so another gorgeous trailer. Filmed real well. Has the Ramon song on it, everything like that. Couple real nice surprises in this one. Surprise number one is that you got Nick Fury in it. So it's the first time Nick Fury and Spider-Man have crossed paths, which is cool.
And it looks like Nick Fury is a major player.
It does.
This is going to be. Yeah. He's going to be a big part of this movie.
Which is also a reason why I think it happens before Infinity War.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You got a bunch of different monstery looking things. I know you thought you recognized them as different things. My depth on Spider-Man is very, very not deep.
So I don't go super deep on Spider-Man anymore. Back in the day before they did the whole Ben Reilly clone Scarlet Spider thing in the 90s, I was real into Spider-Man. My 8-inch, we had the cartoon and everything. So I did go pretty deep on Spider-Man. I think, Spider-Man, his rogues gallery is right up there with Batman's. It's neck and neck.
It's deep.
It is. It's deep. So what I see, first glance, and it's probably a red herring, but I see Sandman, I see Hydro Man, and I see Molten Man. I see all the elemental bad guys.
Right. When you said those names, I'm like, okay, yeah, those make sense to what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of any of those except Sandman.
I believe all three of them are confirmed as well.
Yeah, so I mean, is that Hydro Man? Or is it... Well, here's
the
other thing.
So there was a post online that if you go back through the trailer and you look at the still shots when each one of them are brought on, there's actually a little Easter egg in each shot that ties back to their first appearance in the Spider-Man canon.
Oh, okay.
So you'll see a boat go by that has ASM 120, whatever.
That's cool.
And then you'll be in another shot where if you look at the license plate, it'll be the date of the issue when that character came out. There's I think if you go to comicbook.com, you'll see it. They took 3 stills right out of the...
That's pretty cool.
Right out of the trailer.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a nice little touch.
Cool. But then the big reveal was... So here's the other thing, too. Is like, I knew they were making another Spider-Man movie. I didn't know it was coming out this year. It was so off my radar because we were just looking at the list before
we started. 2 monster Marvel movies coming out.
Yeah,
in the first half of the year, and Shazam,
and How to Train Your Dragon 3, and John Wick, and just there's 2 X-Men movies this summer, and it's insane.
Little aside, did you see how much those Shazam costumes cost?
No, I didn't.
They made 10 costumes at a cost of $1 million a piece.
That's insane. It's because they light up on their own independently.
Oh, really?
I think. I think like all the lightning, like some of the his like lightning effect is all a lot of it's practical.
Well, it's definitely,
which is kind of cool.
If you can get real light to play off their surroundings, and then you put in the lightning on top of it, it's a lot easier to play.
On the plus side, I know Chris isn't going to win one off a prop store now, so that makes you feel a little better.
Never.
Yeah, I will not have a Shazam costume.
Okay, cool.
Never say never.
Never say never.
Yeah.
But
Chris Davis doesn't say never.
Yeah, Chris Davis.
No,
Chris
I mean, why limit yourself?
Yeah, exactly. Never say never. Goonies never say die. The big thing from Spider-Man is Mysterio's in it. Yep. So Mysterio is my favorite Spider-Man villain, hands down. We got a glimpse of him in Spider-Man 2. There's a movie set he passes. Is it 2 or is it 3? I think it's 2. That's Bruce Campbell's.
I think it's 2.
That's Bruce Campbell's cameo in that one, and he's playing like Mysterio on a movie set because Mysterio was, before he became a supervillain, a special effects guy, stuntman.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Jake Gyllenhaal's playing him. The costume looks amazing, and
costume looks pitch perfect.
It's insane. And then one thing I did not expect, but they show right in the trailer, is they go full fishbowl helmet, which I was not expecting them to do because it's just so ridiculous.
No, you only get it for a glimpse when he's flying, but you get the full costume.
It's there, so
I don't know anything about Mysterio or what have you, but when he showed up, I immediately found him interesting because the suit and Jake Gyllenhaal, I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Apparently he's a bad guy, but I see a guy appear and say something to Spider-Man like, you don't want any of this, and then he's attacking the water dude, Hydro Man.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued to begin with because he looks interesting to me.
Yeah. The second I saw it, I went right to Syndrome from The Incredibles. That was my first thought, that whole setup, pretending to be a good guy.
Right.
To garner favor. Chris, how did you take that?
Yeah, I was kind of thrown on that one because I wasn't sure if it was a throwaway line because they do so much with the editing to make you lead your mind to one place.
Yeah.
When it's something completely separate, it could very well be. I mean, if you're looking for a movie parallel, Syndrome would be the one.
Yeah. So
that would make perfect sense.
Yeah, because normally a lot of Mysterio stuff in the books, if I remember correctly, it's not really there. It's all smoke and mirrors because he's a FX guy.
So
exactly.
So I don't know if this is going to be maybe in doing this he accidentally causes Hydro Man and Sam. Maybe he causes all these things to actually happen somehow.
Oh, okay.
That'd be kind of cool to tie in, but it's gonna make all the friggin' money.
Yeah. Or is Hydro Man something that he's just conjuring up to fight? So
exactly, is it
like
not
you're
even?
saying,
Yeah,
sucking him in. Yeah.
Or do they make it? Did they give him? I don't know if they did it in the Ultimates because I didn't read any of the Ultimate stuff, but I know they. It seems like in the Ultimates, a lot of the guys like Shocker and stuff like that their powers were like tech based or kind of not really powers. They made them actual like metahuman powers. So is he kind of like did they give him make him like a wizard? Is he like a Doctor Strange kind of thing? Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, possibly.
Because that green smoke shooting out of his hands, that didn't,
yeah, and I, at a couple different points, they looked like they had, geometric shapes or what have you that definitely are reminiscent of Doctor Strange's, magical stuff.
Yeah, very similar.
So, it's going to make all the money. They had the stealth Spider-Man suit. They changed the suit up a little bit, too. That's the other two. He doesn't have the iron suit, so that's why I'm thinking it's before Infinity War, or else why would he just be in the iron suit?
Yep.
But the question is it going to make the Aquaman money?
Is it going to make the Aquaman what?
The Aquaman money. You okay?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, DJ was dying and covered over the, distant Chris Davis on the phone sound.
That's quite all right. Because I don't know if you guys saw the news this week, but it is looking like Aquaman is going to finish higher than The Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
Wow, nice.
So Aquaman crossed $1 billion. I think it was last Friday night.
I believe so, yeah.
So crossed $1 billion.
They're saying over 300 million domestic this weekend.
Yep.
It's looking like it could get to 1.1, which would put it about 15 million higher.
Yeah.
Than The Dark Knight Rises.
I still haven't taken my kids to see it. They'd like to.
Yeah.
That's okay. I've taken enough people. I'm like 4 times it, so I've covered for you.
Yeah, it's got a couple weeks left. Like, Dragon's coming out. It's going to pull a lot of kids away. And then, Captain Marvel's about a little bit more, about a month and a half, 50 days away, I think.
Yeah.
So it's got some time to make some more money. I don't know. So
legs.
Homecoming only made like 820, I think.
Only. Yeah.
I say only.
Yeah, but a lot of those second-tier characters, it's your big group movies have been the ones that are pulling up multiple billions here.
Yeah.
The other ones they tend to play in that 700-800 million.
Yeah.
Which was kind of the fallacy in that whole Justice League argument, because Justice League made just south of 8.
Yeah.
But that was a failure when everybody else was critically acclaimed at 8,
Yeah, because Avengers made $1.5 billion or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So, do I think you're going to get, so obviously, it's going to make the 8. Is it going to push $1 billion? I think so, because Tom Holland himself, I have a teenage daughter at the house. Tom Holland he's kind of hot shit. So
yeah,
you have the girls going to see it just because it's a Tom Holland movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you got like the high school European, trip.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
Exactly. And I'll probably. I saw Spider-Man Homecoming on Blu-ray. I didn't even go see it in the theater. It was like the first one I missed in the theater, just because it was bad timing. It was a crazy summer. But this one I'll probably see more than once just for Mysterio, because like I said, I love that character, and he looks rad.
Yeah.
So as long as they don't pull like a friggin' Ben Kingsley Mandarin thing with him, I'm in.
Oh, that would piss me off.
That would suck. So yeah, as I said, big movie week. So John Wick 3, Spider-Man. I'm trying it's funny. I like it in a way. It's good to get these trailers out here. If I was Marvel though, I probably would have waited another little bit. I'd wait till a little closer to, or even after Infinity War, because after seeing Spider-Man, it just makes me care less and less about Captain Marvel. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I just want Endgame to get here and then Spider-Man.
We'll see. I keep hearing, people not as psyched for Captain Marvel as other things, and I'm one of them.
Yeah, I'm hearing the same thing.
Oh, and I don't remember what I was saying.
I mean, so they did do advanced ticket sales, and they sold out, at least in around here, Boston area, everything sold out like in a day.
Mm-hmm.
That usually happens.
Yeah,
They're going to release some more screens, so we'll get to see it, right when it comes out and everything like that.
The biggest indication that I'm taking from that is when you're hanging in the shop or you go to the comic shop, you're talking to the people that are coming in and out. There's none of that core audience that is that jazzed and psyched for Captain Marvel to get here.
Yeah.
Most of them you talk to, it's and that's where your repeat business is going to come from.
Yeah, you mentioned the comic shops too. Like I've been to both the Hall and That's E, and like they did with Aquaman, where they did an event and a bunch of B covers and stuff like that with the movie stuff on it. There's all these Captain Marvel covers. No one's buying the books. The walls are lined with them. No one gives a shit.
I actually, so I was in my local comic shop, the Hall of Comics in South Row, Mass, earlier today, picking up my books for the week, and Johnny, one of the owners there. Hey, Johnny.
Happy birthday, Johnny.
Happy birthday, Johnny. That's right. I didn't say happy birthday to him today.
You bastard.
Yeah, well, I'm a terrible
That's
fan.
why he loves me more.
That's right. He does love you more. It's not because, the order of magnitude more money he gets from you. Yeah.
He pays the rent.
But he did, he was talking about one of those covers, and he felt like, readers got a little screwed. There was one that was a particularly great, movie cover that the only image that came out in previews is this gorgeous cover. And the actual cover, the top third of the book, is just a big-ass banner of something else. It actually makes the,
cuts into it.
Yeah. And that, that definitely sucks.
Well, also, the Captain Marvel Funko Pops are starting to show up, too.
Yep.
And with the exception of the Walmart exclusive came out, I think the Target one's coming out on March 1st, but they're warming pegs already.
Yeah.
No one's buying them, so.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, so.
Should be interesting. But like I said, I think Spider-Man coming out, I wasn't 100% all in on Captain Marvel anyway. I'll still see it, but Spider-Man makes me care less. So I don't know if that was a good move on their part.
So it will be interesting to see, part of that movie appears to be more of a cynical marketing ploy than anything else they've done. Just leaning into, hey, we need a woman hero movie too, and Wonder Woman rock. Mm-hmm. Except Wonder Woman's one of the Trinity. Captain Marvel is not.
Correct.
But I hope, I still have hopes because of my faith from all the other Marvel movies that this movie and then her role in Infinity War or Endgame will be, we'll make it okay. It may not be fantastic or it might be fun. I hope it takes the cynical aftertaste or pre-aftertaste, out of the mix.
Well, and let's not forget that Spider-Man, even though Marvel Studios is working on it or it's in conjunction with it, it's still a Sony movie.
Yeah.
So there's no saying that Marvel had final say as to when that trailer was coming out either.
That's true. That is true. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like, maybe you're right, because it does seem like a weird step. Why not save that trailer till debut before Captain Marvel? Just wait 15 more days. What's it matter? The movie comes out in July, for Christ's sakes. It's no need to have it that early. So,
yeah, you bring up a good point. I'm still looking at this as it's all Marvel.
Yeah, I don't know how that whole I know the Spider-Man thing's it's weird, but I don't know how that whole thing works.
So essentially, and I'm giving you the Cliff Note 10,000 foot view here.
That's all we can handle, Chris.
Yeah, I know. I've played in my audience. So what we have is Marvel got access to Spider-Man to bring into their cinematic universe because they needed him as a key player and what was going on there. Exactly. In exchange for that, they essentially said, we'll come help you make a good Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
So it's still, Sony still has the rights to it. Sony can keep pumping out Spider-Man and Venom movies, even if they start going crappy like some of the last ones did.
Like Venom.
Yeah, and that's how you
still haven't seen it. I'm okay with this.
No, you're fine with it. Don't waste your time. I don't care how much money you made it. It just wasn't good. So there's still that. I mean, Sony's gonna keep pumping these things out to hold on to those rights as long as possible, because even a bad Spider-Man movie, people are gonna go see.
Yeah. I never know. I thought it was just like Marvel made the movies and Paramount still got to distribute them and got their cut or whatever it was. But
No. Sony held on to all of those rights. They don't want to give those guys back.
yeah,
So
well,
until Disney buys Sony,
yeah, it's Disney buys Sony. Disney buys everything. So yeah, so I
they'll
mean,
get there.
it's going to be an insane summer. Like I said, this was just like the first bite of the apple basically when it comes to trailers. Ghostbusters is not this year; it's next year, but productions are going to start soon. So, and I just know Ghostbusters is one of those things where you don't get a lot of Ghostbuster stuff. So when there's some out there, Ghostbusters people, their ears perk up. So that was cool.
Well, hey, before we wrap up this discussion, there was one other piece that dropped this week that I don't know if you guys noticed. They announced the next 2 Mission Impossible movies. So there was an announcement that dropped. The director, and the name is escaping me, one of you two may remember, the director of the last Mission Impossible, which was by far my favorite entry into the canon here.
Yeah, I still haven't
has signed on for 2 more. Sean, we're going to send you a list.
I know. I haven't seen the one before that. I mean, we almost need to build a list of,
Wick 2 is at the top of the list.
Yep.
Because we need to do an all John Wick episode soon.
Yeah.
But the last Mission Impossible is amazing. They did a great job with it. Same director is coming back. Tom Cruise is coming back. And they're actually going to be filming these things
back to
the Future style.
Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, so 20 and 21.
Yep.
Exactly. Back-to-back summers, they'll be releasing this.
They make a ton of money.
Yeah, I'll be caught up by then.
Too much content. Way too
much. Do we
much.
want to put money on that?
No.
No.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. So I said we got a lot of stuff to watch this summer. Next one's gonna be Captain Marvel. We'll go see that. I might bring my kid along. Maybe we can get a female teenage
in the
perspective.
demographic.
Sure.
Yeah, we can. What their target is, we can. That's if I can get her on a mic. She's pretty shy, but we'll see how it goes.
We can make her.
I'll coach her into it.
We can get her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut your cell phone off as you go on the podcast.
Oh, that's mean.
That's perfect.
But mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
So since we're kind of doing an impromptu, we don't have a very in-depth top 3 to go with this week. So let's just go out of all the trailers you watched, whatever you end up watching, Spider-Man, even all 1, all 3, whatever you want to do. Top 3 trailer moments from this week that you saw on the YouTube.
I'd like to point out that DJ's a jerk.
Why? Oh, we're going to do just Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We'll just keep it to Spider-Man. Just Spider-Man.
It gives me a little time to think about a top 3 and then changes it at
because
the end
my
of the
number
episode.
1 is just Wick, Wick, Wick.
Yeah, it's
all
late.
Wick all
It's
the
all
time.
Wick
okay.
all the time.
It's just all Wick. Just give me the full Wick.
So, no, we can stick with that. I only saw the Ghostbusters teaser and the Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah.
So all my top 3 beats are out of the Spider-Man trailer.
That's fine.
Okay. So not enough to have honorable mentions.
No honorables.
So my number 3 beat was actually, I was kind of surprised I noticed it because I'm not deep into the lore of everything, but the luggage that Peter Parker packs for his trip to Europe
so good
is Uncle Ben's. You could see by the monograms on the clasp on the luggage, and that's just cool, right? Just having that in there, if you don't notice it, not a big deal. But if you do, it's like, yep, that's something that kid would have realistically and use, and it means something. So Uncle Ben's luggage is my number 3.
That would probably be an honorable mention for me. That was great.
Chris?
Nice. My number 3, I'm going to the Ghostbusters teaser. I'm a big nostalgia guy. I mean, I threw the Force Awakens thing out there. When you're rebooting one of those type of properties, give me the music, give me the image. I don't care if I've seen these characters for the last 30 years.
Yep.
It was enough to hear, like you said, DJ, you got a couple bars of the theme.
Yeah.
Wind blows. You see Ecto 1 under the cover.
Yep.
That was enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was enough.
That was great. My number 3, I'm going to go with the aforementioned library book Curb Stomping in John Wick 3. Stuffs a giant encyclopedia type thing in some guy's mouth, and so I might kill him somehow with it. And they gave away. I'm not really spoiling nothing, but in John Wick, there's the legend of he killed 3 guys with a pencil, a fucking pencil.
With a fucking pencil.
Oh my god!
If it was a John Schwarzenegger, if it was a John Schwarzenegger,
John Schwartz.
if it was an Arnold movie, he would then stand up and say, the pen is mightier than the sword.
You bet at least. So the pencil's out of the way now. So now he's moved on to bigger things, books. So I'm hoping he kills a guy with the teacup or something cool too in this one. So that was just, I got a feeling the kills in this movie are going to be more inventive than just gunshots. So I'm very excited for that. So I'm going to library book.
Nice. All right. My number 2, again, limited to the Spider-Man universe, was the moment between Jon Favreau's happy character and Marissa Tomei's incredibly hot Aunt May.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, does not age.
Yeah.
No. She doesn't.
She doesn't.
So it's ridiculous.
But the both natural, Aunt May's, this Aunt May is she's just a great, nice character.
Yeah.
And happy, while addition to being the trunk and the root of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, director Jon Favreau, it's just nice to see a very human, reasonable interest and flirtation right across Peter's face while he's standing there. I like that.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
More Favreau.
More Favreau is always good.
Everything Favreau does is great, so.
Can't wait for Star Wars.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't wait for Lion King.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Chris?
My number 2 is going to be in the Spider-Man universe as well. It's actually a couple of little things, and I made a joking comment to Sean via text today that Spider-Man has essentially become this giant United Colors of Benetton universe, where it's one of the rare movies where they have reimagined a great number. Peter's the only one that looks like Peter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody else has been reimaged, reimagined, but you don't get any of the blowback for being too PC or anything else like you do in a lot of the other areas there.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow they've made it all seem natural and make it work.
A big piece of it is, right, you've got a borough of New York City, a high school, right? None of the cast of characters feels like, no.
Yeah, like when Spider-Man was created back in the 60s, whatever, there's not that many white kids left in the boroughs of Brooklyn. So.
No. So it's mainly 2 points from it. It's the fact that they've kind of integrated this entire book, and it looks like a group of people you would see interacting in New York.
Yeah.
And the other side of that would be the first reveal of Mysterio. When you see the costume for the first time, you see him coming full screen. It has all the accents. The only thing you're missing is the helmet at that point. You don't have a fishbowl. Yeah. But
I would agree with that. And I don't know anything about it, right? That was an impactful, great moment introducing somebody to me that I have no idea who he is. So even more so if you guys as fans of that character were jazzed about it on top of that.
It works,
Yeah.
He's awesome.
It was perfect. It was pitch perfect.
Yeah.
So that's 2 for me.
Okay. So piggybacking Chris's too, the only thing I don't like about the way they did the kids in these Spider movies, and it's probably going to sound like a jerk thing to say, but I don't like Zendaya playing MJ.
Oh, yeah?
And it's nothing to do with her, really. She's a good actress or anything. It's just, the thing about Mary, if you're going to have she can be darker skinned, whatever, mulatto, whatever. Yeah. She has to have red hair. She has to be a redhead. It has to.
That has been a defining.
That's kind of her thing.
Is she the actual MJ?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he just. They're doing a thing where as he gets older, there's always a girl named MJ. Maybe it's just something. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah.
But like if you had the Silver Sable show up and she's in a purple jumpsuit, it's like no, she's the Silver Sable. So that's all. It just kind of bugged me.
All right.
My number 2, I'm going to the Ghostbusters one, and I'll just to narrow it down to one moment because the whole thing was like I was in my office at work like screaming. I actually let out a little screech.
Yeah.
When the sheet flies up and you see the rusty old beat up Ecto 1 car, and it's like, oh, the car's back. The car is back.
I thought it was cool that Jason Reitman, when he tweeted the link to it, said, "My dad gave me the keys."
Yeah, that was cute. So I just say I'm a Ghostbusters is a big thing like in my family, and I was just super excited. I remember it was great too because my brother doesn't live on the internet like I do. I'm in front of 5 screens all day, whatever at work or how many screens I have, and he sends me a text. He's like, "Hey, you saw the news they're making of the Ghostbusters, right?" I'm like, yeah, do you know there's a fucking trail already? He's like, no, there's not. I was like, yeah, there is. Like, oh, it's probably fake. I'm like, no. Jason Reitman tweeted it out. He's like, what? So he was on cloud nine. It was great. But yeah, just the whole Ghostbusters thing is awesome.
Awesome. Well, my number one is not exactly momentous, but it hit me just right. End of the Spider-Man trailer. Bunch of the kids on their European vacation are looking at TV news footage of what was Mysterio, and they're like, "Who's that guy? You know, he looks like some kind of cross between Iron Man and Thor. Looks really cool." And a kid over to the side's like, "Yeah, but he's no Spider-Man." And MJ's like, "What's with you and Spider-Man?" And he talks about how he respects him and he's fantastic. And then he looks over and Peter Parker's there and he's like, "Sup, dickwad," you know.
Yeah.
And it hit such a, it hit a fun, accurate, right? I mean, it's a group of kids. It again nails home this Peter Parker is not 40 years old.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's a kid. I think he's
a
like,
kid.
Yeah, no, he's a high school kid.
Yeah, I think he's only like 19 now, but he looks young.
Yeah.
So
But he fits it. And calling your buddies dickwad is something that is, even 30 years after I was in high school.
Yeah.
30 plus years. So that I just loved it.
That was that was a good scene too. Funny side note: have you ever seen a picture of Tom Holland next to Stan Lee when he was like 20 years old?
Similar.
It's the same fucking person. It's eerie.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
eerie.
crazy.
Okay, Chris, what John Wick scene was your number one?
Oh, God bless Wick. I love all things Wick, so I could list any Wick on a horse. I mean, all of it works for me. When they should release that still last year, I lost my damn mind.
Yeah.
But at its very core, the whole backbone of that movie, of the whole series, is the Continental and that world. And that all ties back to, and this is a favorite of yours, Ian McShane.
Oh,
so
yeah.
my favorite beat of that entire thing. I mean, I love the fact that, Morpheus and Neo get to play in a different world together and all of that. But it's, I can't remember his name. It's the concierge from the Continental walking down the hallway with Christian when they talk about the odds.
Oh, yeah.
$14 million at play. Everybody in New York wants a piece. What do you think his odds are? I'd say it's about even.
Yes.
It's just a little throwaway. But I love Ian McShane in that role. He's kind of like the backbone of that whole thing. You see Wick doing all the Wick things, but it always comes back to Ian. He's kind of like the father figure in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Even after everything shook out, he's like, yeah, he's got a shot. Just kind of made me smile.
It's going to be insane. So my number one, I'm going to go Spider-Man. The whole trailer was great. Like I said, all the scenes Sean brought up were great. The suitcase, the dickwad comment at the end. It was Mysterio. The reveal of Mysterio. And the fact that they showed the fishbowl helmet, like Kevin said when Kevin's watching it, holy fuck, I want to have sex with him right now. Like Kevin was doing cartwheels when he saw it, but it's just one of those things where you never thought you were ever going to get it. Never thought you'd see a live action Mysterio, and we have live action Mysterio, and he has fishbowl head. So it was just it was insane. So Sean went Ben Parker suitcase. Number two was
Favreau.
Yep, Favreau and Aunt May.
Yep.
And number one was the dickwad line from the end of the trailer with all the kids hanging out. Chris went, I believe, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters nostalgia.
Yep, the multi-racial kid jamboree.
Yeah.
Yep, for Spider-Man. And then John Wick everything, but mostly Ian McShane.
There you go.
I went as I'm dubbing it now, the library book curb stomp. I don't know what the hell was going to happen, but that's what I'm calling it. And then number two, I went the Ecto 1 reveal from the Ghostbusters teaser. And number one was just Mysterio. Mysterio popped. It was just insane. So it's going to be an expensive summer, boys. We got a lot of tickets to buy, a lot of movies to see. And this is even including, when's reboot going to be ready?
Oh, yeah.
When, what else is going to just pop up? There's a couple dates that have are a little thin. We're getting, the new the Hobbs in movie from Fast and Furious. We'll see that. Yeah, it's got The Rock, and it's got The Rock and Idris Alba in it.
That's a pretty good mix.
It's The Rock and Jason Statham fighting Idris Alba.
Yeah,
Give me that fucking trailer. Where's that? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So you can't lose this year, folks. If you went next to a movie theater, just buy a bunch of gift cards. Yeah. You can't lose. It's going to be a great summer for movies. So hopefully we're going to get this process. I'll get this out there as soon as possible. Hopefully it sounds good. Chris, you have a phenomenal time down in sunny Florida.
Yeah,
Thank you, gentlemen. Well, thank you being up here freezing your asses off.
Yes, I think Sunday the news gave a very bold weather prediction of I think 3 to 47 inches. They said they have no idea what the fuck's going to happen.
Oh, that's a good range.
Yeah, it's just not bad. So,
I think we're getting a little snow tomorrow.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a little dusting or something, but then it's going to be in the 40s next week. So as soon as you warm back up, I'll come home.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so Chris is going down. He was already out in Disneyland a couple weeks ago, cleared them out of all their artwork. Now he's going to go ravage the East Coast and buy all the
We'll
art.
go see what the Southern Mouse has to offer.
He's gonna,
The Southern Mouse.
the Southern Mouse.
Yeah, well, have fun. Thanks for taking time out of your evening in a hotel to call back and join us.
Thank you guys for jumping through hoops to get me on here.
No problem. Bring back
This
some Dole Whip.
fun. Yeah, well,
Bring me Dole Whip. Pocket full of Dole Whip.
there
Wasn't
you
that
go.
a song by Spin Doctors?
It might have been, yeah, Pocket full of Dole Whip. It should have been Dr. Dole Whip.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everyone.
See ya.
Take care, guys.
Bye.